Well, we're straight into the action here. Softball SA Premier League action. Amber Hood leading things off for West Torrens, but a great play at third base from Neve Adams for the first out. Well, we are joining you from magnificent Garnerland, Adelaide Plains, West Beach, South Australia for Softball SA Premier League action. James Harris here, and alongside me is Anthony Weatherstone to my right, in the seat to my right, and in the seat to my left is Lee Hull. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good evening, James. Good evening, Lee. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, men, and it's a perfect night, isn't it?
Yeah, great night for softball. We have a change to the schedule. We were expecting Hills Heat versus the Port Adelaide Magpies. Last minute change sees the two teams we saw on Saturday at 2 o'clock facing off, the Sturt Falcons versus West Torrens Eagles. Different look, though, tonight, isn't it?
We talked about it on the weekend that there may be a change in the pitching staff coming up for this game, and that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, both starting pitchers have changed. We see pitching for the Falcons is Tash Straps. Millie Fidge moves over to first base, and for West Torrens, we see Jackie Beale pitching, and Steph Trzynski out at... Was she Centerfield?
Centerfield, yeah.
Okay, all right. My team list have someone else named at Centerfield, but we'll update those. So plenty happening here already, and we're only into the second batter. Just a slight delay in the start of the broadcast as well due to the late change of the schedule.
Yeah, Danny Backside has a rest from out at Centerfield and is playing as the DP.
And Adams is...
Oh, well, she got under it.
She got
settled herself, and then nearly.
Sorry, I felt like I was going to catch that myself, the way that was going. Yeah. So Lana's just chased inside, and Adams has made a good effort. She's done the right thing. She's got underneath the ball before she's got herself set up for it, and it's just hit the hand more so than the pocket. But it's an important second out anyway.
Great coverage from this team at Space Break Sports on the leading team's replay. Just on Neve Adams. She was the #1 player of the year last year in the top 10. Great diving effort from shortstop to take it on the backhand side, and then just on that one, which was a regulation pop-up, she nearly muffled it, but makes the catch. So it's 2 quick outs here in the top of the first inning. So great start from Tash Straps and the Falcons.
Will she go 3 for 3 here, Neve, in the hot corner at third?
Yeah, Tash doing a good job just keeping the ball away from any power zones for Sophie Hall to get under.
We might even get a chance to go around the diamond if Hoyle gets on here, Leroy.
Thank you.
3-0 count and 4 straight balls for Hoyle.
Around the diamond for the Falcons. At first base, it's Millie Fidge. Second, Rachel Tonkin. Third is Neve Adams. Shortstop, Belle White. Outfield, left to right, Maddie Ashby, Maddie Cameron, Indigo Beck de Silva. And the battery is Tash Straps to Sarah Tonkin.
We'll see Trzynski in the 4 spot for the Eagles.
Yeah, batting .373. So 1 out, runner at first. So
we know she swings the bat hard as well. So for mine, outfielders might need to just drop back maybe 1 or 2 steps.
Tash pitching very carefully these batters 3 and 4, as you would.
Do you think it'll be the same story for both sides? These two pitchers will just keep going through. It's a ground ball to White. She takes it pretty casually and throws out Trzynski by a step. 3 outs in the top 4 batters, and we're rolling. We're just moving along here. Doesn't look like anyone's hit their top pace just yet. Even Belle White takes that one casually, and good take from Millie Fidge at first.
When you're a player with the skill that White has and the arm she's got, then everything looks casual, but she's a terrific player. She's the best player who's been here for a few years now, hasn't she, boys?
Tracy Mosley comes to mind, I think, would be my top of the tree.
I think the player you had on commentary Saturday night would be a good linking player between those areas.
And so Belle White obviously started towards the end of Mel's career, and
Yeah, she just at the end, yeah. So, but Belle, I mean, I remember a couple of years at Sturt, you could see just when she came back from the States, she was just, she was a franchise. She was that good.
Well, I think I've seen a few people, and I think Linda Martin is easily the best player I've seen.
Yep.
Anthony, you've seen her a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for what I've seen of the game, it's yeah, there was she was definitely number one, and it was a privilege to sort of spend some time with her when I was at the Cats for a few years there, learning my trade. But she built a dynasty, you know, after that era of missed grand final, those grand final losses, and then she just built on that, and they just went on a run. That's,
they win 10 out of 14, I think it was.
10 out of 11 after losing 4 from 5, including the infamous light game, I believe, from memory. So
I remember that.
Yeah.
But she used to bat lead off, and she never went for the fence any time. Just she used to hit the ball right centre, just for a base hit. Not the fastest base runner, but smartest base runner.
West Torrens in defence now. Jackie Beale, we saw her throw a couple of games last year on and off. However, no pitching stats for her for this season, 2021-22.
Well, she'll be steady. That's all they can ask for. It gives Steph a rest as well. And, of course, Harper hasn't come down from Port Perry.
Plate umpire Ian Gray calls that first one a strike right at the bottom of the zone, and Sarah Tonkin patiently watched that one. Gets after this one and goes foul.
The other umpires in this game, sorry, James to butt in, Damien McCauley's at first and Brett Tyler's at third.
So it's an interesting game in the sense that round 14, so 4 rounds to go, and you're playing first place, second, both on equal points, except West Torrens obviously have the one game up there sleeved left to play.
Ground ball to the left side. Kaiser waits back.
Oh, wow. Great play, Lana.
Yeah, thought Hoyer was going to come across and shark it, and Kaiser was in the right spot, and she makes a very good play. Here we are on the leading team's replay.
Yeah, the one thing noticeable there about Lana was just it was a short, there was no pump in the glove, it was just straight up, and she didn't even extend her arm back that far. That just shows you how strong Lana Kaisler is. But stayed low, great field, great throw, and Kelsey takes a good catch there at first.
Well, she had big shoes to fill, didn't she, Lana, playing at shortstop? And she's filling them really well. She's so good laterally. She gets to a lot of plays that some people can't get to.
Shot up the middle from Adams. Kaiser cuts it off, but doesn't feel like she's got a play, so she held onto it. So an infield single. First hit of the ball game.
Yeah, no point throwing the ball then. You're on a hiding to nothing.
Now, this will be an interesting at-bat. Belle White now obviously facing, for the first time, Jackie Beale this season anyway. And it's that change in pace. Like, you know, obviously both these pitchers tonight are not the number ones. So the ball's going to be coming in a bit slower. So as hitters, it's going to be interesting to see how quickly they make those adjustments.
Well, that wouldn't hurt too much, though, I don't think. Hurt enough, though.
Hit by pitch for Belinda White. It's her first of the season. She does have 4 stolen bases and 5 walks. And that'll increase the on-base percentage. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. Front foot right up the top of the box, so she's just got to be careful on any big step that she takes. But
now, Maddie Cameron likes to go early, so it'll be interesting with this different pace that she's got to face.
Well, they say you're only as good as your last at-bat.
And her last at-bat was pretty good.
We saw a home run to ice the game on Saturday. It bounced off the top of the fence, but still counts as a home run. The Maddie Cameron average just climbing bit by bit by her standards. Well, last year's standards, 600-plus batting average. She was hovering around the 400 mark for majority of the season, but it's climbed up to 456. RBI numbers are up there as well. 22, a big swing on a miss on that one there, her first swing of the game.
Yeah, if there is anything with the Falcons, it's of the 89 runs that they've batted in this year, 45 of them have come from Bell and Maddie, which is maybe an unhealthy reliance on two players.
Yeah, that's half the RBIs for the team.
But good pitching and good defence can probably help balance that.
Line drive to Kaiser and a double play opportunity. Hood didn't need to tag. She was on the base. So Kaiser in the action and completes the double play. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. She is, look at her move to the 5-6 hole here for Cameron. So a bit of a shift play from Kaiser. She placed herself perfectly and Hood was there to receive the ball in time.
Yeah, she couldn't have put herself into a better spot. It was a good piece of the ball by Maddie too. It's not like she just, that was off the end of the bat. She smashed that.
She's not playing shortstop there, is she?
No,
she's a deep third base.
Yeah, maybe she's just whispering into Sophie's ear about that ball earlier in the innings where Sophie's come over and trying to take one of hers. Just keeping her honest.
Well, great double play from Kaiser. We always love to see the action here at Premier League softball, and didn't get a chance to go around the diamond, Lee, so you weren't quick enough there getting in your old age, mate.
I'm sorry, you're talking to me?
We'll have to do it next inning. After one complete inning, it's 0-0, and we're ready to go already for the top of the second.
Here's the girl batting for the Eagles, Kelsey Nucky, who was responsible for the RBI in Saturday's game. They only scored 1 run against Sturt, and Kelsey just popped a little dinker up there near second base and scored a run.
Well, Kelsey was pretty early on Millie Fidge, so she's going to have to hold her hands back a little more on Tash Straps. Well, she goes after this, but straight down the throat of the left fielder. Got the wrong page there. Maddie Ashby, nearly called Brodie Brovnik, so Maddie Ashby with a good catch.
Another good piece of the ball. So, as you said, James, it's important for these hitters with that differing pace to definitely change that mindset. And so far, it looks like everybody's done it. Both teams look switched on and sharp here. So this could be some fun.
Well, the thing is with these two pitches, with the pace or lack thereof, you can buy some cheap outs. Balls will go in the air. You just need to catch them.
Yeah.
Danny Baskey's playing in the DP position, hitting for the pitcher Jackie Bill.
And when we say lack of pace, it's not like these girls out there are throwing, hand grenades by any stretch, but versus the pace that Trzynski and Fidge would throw, even that step down of, say, 10 kilometres an hour, 15 kilometres an hour is substantial, especially when you throw a change up into that mix and that drops another 15, 20. So, both, Straps has obviously pitched in her career before this as well, so...
The top batters love the ball coming onto them.
Yeah.
I mean, those that play at the international level or at national level love the pitch. They're used to the pitch, the pace of the pitch. Just don't give it to them.
Yeah. From a coaching perspective, I'd be very conscious, though, of making sure that hitters that maybe, are sitting sub 250 and haven't had, a great time. This is a good time to put some bat on ball, as Brodie Brovnik's Danny Baskey has gone deep to centre field there, and a good catch by Maddie Cameron.
Leading team's replay. Cameron set under it pretty well to complete a good catch.
Yeah, Maddie had a great day in the field on the weekend, so that's the easiest play she would have had versus West Torrens in the last couple of games, I would have thought. So this is a chance for maybe some hitters that aren't going that well to get some good feeling about seeing that uniform and actually putting the ball in play and getting some good at bats.
Brodie Brovnik is the batter in the box now. Well, credit where it's due, guys. Tash Straps has been in this A-grade or Premier League competition for a better part of a decade. She's only in her mid-20s, so she's got some experience playing a couple of different positions for a couple of different clubs. She's played in all age groups for Softball SA state representation. She even made a friendship series, so the junior Aussie squad. So she's got a good softball head there. She's got a good pedigree as well.
Yeah, she does. And she's definitely got a smart catcher behind the plate. As
3 fly balls for a 1-2-3 inning for the Falcons. There's Maddie Cameron, second catch of the inning.
Yeah, Maddie just goes back and makes what looks like on TV might be a simple play. I can assure you 230 feet from the plate it's not, but she does make that look very easy with just reads the ball so well.
The leg speed takes her back there too.
Yeah.
You know, don't underestimate the leg speed. Yeah. But there you go, three up, 3 fly balls.
Yeah, I was just going to say with Tash, she's lucky that obviously, you know, having Sarah Tonkin behind the plate, who's just a super smart catcher, is definitely going to give her some confidence to know that she's not going to be throwing anything into harm's way that's not for a purpose. So. And same here for Jackie Bill with Carly. So.
Look at that trot on the great camera work there from the team at Spacequake Sports. Maddie Cameron enjoying her work out there. Well, Lee, here's your chance, mate. Take us around the diamond for the West Torrens defence.
I will do just that. At first base, it's Kelsey Nucky. Second base, Amber Hood. Third base is Sophie Hoyle. And at shortstop, it's Lana Kaisler. Left fielder is Brodie Borovnik. Centre fielder is just guessing.
Steph Krasinski.
Yes, I'm just having a guess. Seniors moment. At centre fielder, Mary Fuss is at right field.
So that's the one change.
And Danny Baskai is batting DP.
Yeah,
for Jackie.
Fuss is the defensive one change that we can see. Baskai playing DP. Fuss into the field. Trzynski out to outfield, Jackie Beale in. So it's a bit of a different West Torrens lineup, but majority of the same players. Well, she's just thumbing them in at the moment, isn't she? So she's really trying to take a little bit of pace off it, trying to hit her spots here and make these other Falcons batters work. But a lot of these Falcons players are either straight out of juniors, maybe some of them still in juniors, or even played a B grade game or two. So I'm not sure the slower pace is going to affect the Falcons too much. I'm going to say advantage Falcons tonight.
Yeah, I would say that too. And watching that first innings as Millie just picks up Millie Fitch picks up a first innings, first at bat walk. I will be interesting to see just right now whether or not there's any type of short game or anything else in play, or whether or not it's just a bat away night. Yeah, the one thing noticing about the Straps girl when she's pitching, she's got a little bit of movement away, and Sarah's been exploiting that, obviously evidenced by a couple of shallow fly balls. Whereas I think Beale here is more straight up and down. It's more about that variance of pace where she's trying to offset the hitters. So 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, 6 in a row for this inning. And she comes back with one there.
It's just sitting there though, isn't it? Top of the zone there. Tash can hit a long ball at times.
Second and third time around tonight might be interesting.
Yeah.
Pick up Carly.
Allen, the veteran behind the plate, was still playing. Playing when you were coach, Anthony.
Yeah, she came across with Caitlin Tobin from Port Adelaide, and became a premiership player for in my last year, I think, last 2 years before. Yeah, but great player.
Ever reliable hitter and experienced catcher, and she gets that one where she wants it on the outside edge, and Beale with her first strikeout of the night.
That'll help her confidence. So
good pitch that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Got back in the count, finished up striking her out.
Indigo back to Silver in the left-handed batter's box.
Yeah, she's a natural left-hander, and she can pull the ball hard, where a lot of left-handers, the right-handers are changing to bat left-handed, so they don't have as much power as Indy does. So this could go over Amber's head. Need to swing the bat for that to happen though.
good discipline as she watches one high. So 2 balls, 1 strike. So Millie Fitch still stuck at first.
Yeah, no stolen base on the season for Fidge, and you wouldn't risk it either, would you?
I was about to say, it'd be unlikely to be sending a pitcher in round 14, I would have thought. So Ashby and Tonkin to come. Tonkin, we know, can do some damage, as she's been doing from that number 9 spot since the start back again this season.
This is a dribbler to first base. Nucky sits on it and makes the easy out at 1. Probably didn't have a play at 2. It was a slow roller for the out.
Yeah, just in on the hands and wasn't able to really extend, but runner at 2 out. So,
well, we spoke about key outs last game, and it was the bottom of the order that really hurt West Torrens on Saturday. Rachel Tonkin getting on base, really opening up the door for the top order to capitalise on those opportunities that West Torrens had way more than Sturt.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Ashby crunches this one. She's going to score that run, so the bottom order getting the job done. Ashby drills it to the left side. She's going to try and stretch it out for a triple. The throw's high, and she slides in safely head first. Maddie Ashby for just a second hit of the year. First extra base hit of the year.
Yeah, great. It was great batting. She just sort of waited back on it. And more importantly, just sort of tried to time the ball. She didn't try and muscle that. That was just a great piece of the ball.
She'll feel really good about that.
Yeah.
And so she should.
Well, on cue as well. Now Rachel Tonkin. So trouble a brewing if Tonkin can get on here and expose the top order. Here's the leading team's replay of the play at 3rd, and great slide in.
Yeah.
So they need to shut Rachel down now. And Rachel's a player that you often see her on base, don't you? She gets there, she works her way in, she's got patience when she bats.
Yeah, that's the one noticeable thing about the weekend that I saw, Lee, was that she had the patience, and when behind in the count, didn't panic. So here we go.
This gets away from Allen, and Ashby will score unopposed. So crossing the plate for run number 2, and the Falcons' 2-run lead is pretty imposing when you look at the way that this game's been going already so far, and noting that neither pitcher you'd think are going to shut down both of these teams' offences.
No, and there's a risk that you take when, you know, pitchers that haven't obviously, or players that have come into pitch, you haven't thrown a lot, and you're sort of wanting that guaranteed control that the likes of Drzinski and Fidge give you. Sometimes you're going to get a pitch like that, and runner on 3, it can be costly. So
it's another good turn at bat from Rachel, isn't it?
that's a great piece of the ball.
In the gap, 5-6 hole, Tonkin just cruises up the first base. Didn't even look at 2. It's an outfield hit. I was always taught to turn. You never know what's going to happen, and she's pretty comfortable there on first base. Back to the top of the order. So following Rachel's, her sister Sarah.
Eagles must shut this innings down right now. 2 out.
Hearing some good positive reinforcement from Carly there with a young pitcher who's come in to do a tough job against a great offensive team. She's not just trying to, you know, call a smart game. She's also really encouraging her, which is great to see from the veteran.
3 hits in the first 9 batters for the Falcons. 2 of them come from the 8-9 hitters.
I'd send her here.
Rachel has no stolen bases for the year. Pop up. Deep outfield. Borovnik comes underneath it and takes a catch to end the Falcons' threat.
So,
but not before they score 2.
Not before, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, West Torrens, obviously it's going to be important here that, especially after the weekend, no panic stations, but, you know, they played a game earlier in the year where West Torrens were just really dominant, and that's sort of what can happen when two quality teams play each other, you know, 5 times throughout a season. It's going to be up and down, the lineups are going to change, and so you're going to have different people and different looks. So the coaches will be sort of sitting back just looking at who can do what, so that when the time comes later in the year, later in the season, they can remember that somebody had a good pinch hit or somebody had a good piece of base running. So
Sturt Falcons, we have another look at this play.
Sorry, we were just having a look at the good relay throw, good setup, all on the perfect spot.
I think we were watching, and there's Ashby. So Ashby's triple and the run scored. So well done to Maddie Ashby.
Sorry, viewers, I wasn't watching the screen at the time. So, but yeah, so West Torrens have to respond though here. They can't let that continue to go on. And they're good enough hitting that lineup to do that.
Yeah, anytime a team scores, you must get at least one back the next inning. Well, the table shows 28 points apiece. The winner of tonight's game will go top. If it's a draw, West Torrens will remain on top on runs against. They've got less runs against. So this is a chance for Sturt to blow one open and catch up on those runs against the top side West Torrens. We know that both teams that finish first and second get a double chance. It's the team that finished third and fourth will play an elimination final. First up in week 1, it's later on in March. Still a few games to go for some teams. West Torrens still 6 games to go after tonight. Walkerville just 4 more games to go as they battle for that last final spot. Ground ball, Tonkin. Easy as she's casual tonight, isn't she, Rachel? She's in some great form, so why would you change?
Yeah, good solid play. Just noticing that working that outside edge tonight, they're having some success out there. So hopefully that word's passing back through the West Torrens hitters to sort of, you know, go with those pitches and sort of open up. And that's sort of what Carly was trying to do there, but good piece of fielding. But yeah, on Saturday, Walkerville, that game against Port Adelaide, 4-1. You know, from the Walkerville we watched last Wednesday night to the Walkerville on Saturday, you know, Desi and Sophie King come in, but that was a super impressive performance. And Yankovic on the mound too, she was great. Yeah,
Bianca Ramsey out at centre field, put the body on the line as well. I've seen pictures, a swollen face from going face first into the fence, and also swollen knee lead.
Left knee, yes, it's puffy. I saw her this evening earlier on, and it's still very puffy.
So hopefully she recovers well, because a full-strength Walkerville team could threaten any side come finals time. So let's not count out Hills Heat as well. They sit 1 point ahead of Walkerville, and their runs against is only 56. So that's as good as a game. Well, this one's off the end of the bat and tough for anyone to negotiate, let alone Belinda White. She's human after all. That would add some tough spin on it. Mary Fuss.
Yeah, like
gets aboard.
Yeah, it looked like it came off the end of the bat there, and it was just spinning around when Bell's coming to get. You can see as it's gone to her glove, it's just spinning around like it was a rise ball off the dirt. So, but
well, she was trying to meet it with pace as well, so she could get that far throw across. But will go down as an error on this occasion, and Fuss aboard. So only the second base runner for the first 9 batters in the West Torrens lineup.
Yeah, and the super impressive Amber Hood, batting .419, their leading hitter, comes to the plate. Wow.
Well, it's what they needed, wasn't it, West Torrens? A little bit of luck as Hood gets aboard from a great shot out to centre field, and her impressive season continues. A .536 on base average.
Yeah, if there's a contract to be signed, sign her for life. She is just an outstanding recruit.
Just out of reach of White on
great
the team's replay.
Yeah, great effort.
Would have been a super catch if she'd have got there.
Well, second time through the lineup was when the Falcons did the start of the damage against West Torrens on Saturday.
Yep.
Are West Torrens going to return favour today?
Well, it's important that they do. Like as you just said, the important thing is when you've just given up a couple of runs is to to answer back. And obviously with the young pitcher, Beale, she's going to need some help from her offense, and this is their chance.
Hood, as a matter of fact, is in the top 6 players in the competition as far as offensive stats go. And she's in good company with her sister Georgia, the 2 Sturt champions in White and Cameron, and the 2 from Port Adelaide sit atop of everyone. This one's going to
fall in. Oh,
just
no.
Nice
Wow.
catch.
A great catch. Rachel Tonkin, well, she's playing the game of her life. She's just made a great catch, and she hasn't even got out of second gear yet. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay.
Just off the end of the bat there. Looked like it was going to fall in, but that's a great timed jump. Throw perfect to Bill White too. So it's Showtime Tonkin. So wow, that's great fielding.
Sophie Hoyle will be looking for a long shot here, I'm telling you. Maddie Ashby out at left field's adjusted here, going more towards centre field. Rightly so.
Oh, just nearly away from Tonkin, but she does well again to block that one. Just to finish what I was saying, the 2 from Port Adelaide that lead all comers.
Yeah.
Gemma Letton and Yo Grauer. Letton 595 and Grauer 529 batting averages for the season.
Yeah, Port Adelaide missed Letton on Saturday for sure. That I'm not suggesting that would have been the difference, but it, to have those numbers in there would have definitely helped. So held 2 balls, 1 strike here. Continuing just pushing that ball away is
Pitch very carefully to batters like this.
I think her first
2 runners on.
Yeah, her first at bat was a walk as well. So
Pop up, and with a good hitter's count, Hoyle pops up to third base, and Neve Adams able to take that catch comfortably. 2 runners left aboard. Here's the leading team's replay.
yeah, again, just another one of those mistimed shots. I think Hoyle just obviously got through it on a bit quicker than she thought and didn't get it exactly as she wanted on the bat. And another play by Neve Adams at third, another catch. So that was impressive from West Torrens to at least answer and show that you know, they're here obviously to fight. And so, but now obviously we're going to be coming through a very dangerous part of Sturt's lineup as Neve Adams leads off in the bottom of the third.
She got a hit in the first turn at bat, started it off.
Yeah, I mean, I know from as a coach, when you sort of see not the number 1 come out to the mound, you know, the first thing that you say to your players is, you know, well, let's hit her off and bring the other girl back on. And I mean, I doubt that under any circumstances would we see Fidge or Trzynski come in tonight. But there's not going to be much relief, I wouldn't have thought. So both these pitchers are going to have some strong mental toughness and just work through it. It's just about...
Reaches out for this one. We've got Hoyle, we've got Kaiser, both charging down, but just out of reach of them both. And so a life for Adams.
Yeah, it looked like just a little bit of miscommunication there at the end. Just...
I thought it was Sophie's pretty well all the way.
She looked like she had it covered.
Might have got an overcall from Lana.
But both pitchers just have to realise that they've got good defences around them, and it's just about making sure that they can utilise that.
Just needs to get the timing right here. Neve Adams, her hit up the middle was a slow grounder, but it was placed well. And she's just mistimed a couple at this at-bat as well, but we know that this young champion of the game can belt it.
Yeah, she's batting 192 for the year with an on-base of 276. So
10 hits on the season, 6 RBIs.
6 walks.
6 RBIs, impressive, isn't it?
Oh,
There you go.
You're just saying that, weren't you, James, that she can hit?
That's the Neve Adams that we got to know all through last season and in the back half of the season before.
Strong girl, huge arm.
Most valuable player in the under-16 National Championship just January 2020. And that was the last Nationals that we actually played. Can't wait to get back to National Championships this April. And we're, of course, hosting the Gillies Shield and under-23 women.
Fantastic.
Base on balls for Adam. So she's had a great night so far in the field. You could probably count about 4 plays, I think, and then infield single and a base on balls here to lead things off in the third.
Yeah, I think Belle will be just a couple of inches off the plate more so than she was last time after taking that ball on the leg. But let's see what she's got this time.
Well, Justina Adams has been proven to be a quite aggressive coach with runners on base, particularly runners that can move. We've got 4 stolen bases on the season for Neve Adams. White pretty reliable with the bat, so yeah, hit and run, I think, maybe on that one, but White way early on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, obviously still with a player of that quality. Just looking at first and third at how deep they play, somebody like Belle White, I mean, it's in her skill bag. I mean, it's not something that you see her do often, but, you know, you would back her to nearly beat out a good bunt, but at the same stage, she can obviously hit like that.
Well, that was right over the middle, so
yeah.
Linda White doesn't miss out on those very often, and she's been on 2 times for the game. So a single to left field. I was nearly thinking about saying that if Beale could keep on that inside of the plate and Kaiser shifted like she did for Cameron, as she's doing again on this occasion, she might have been in the play there, but that was hit. It was way too hard even for Kaiser to get to now. So big jump from second for Neve Adams. So looking to stay aggressive here, the Falcons.
Yeah, a great coach once told me it runners at 1 and 2 with none out. You always bunt no matter who it is.
Is that right?
That's right. One of the most a rule that I learnt early on, and ironically, the amount of times that that you sort of didn't do it and something didn't work, it would always come back and bite you. But,
playing the percentage, it's called.
It's a 1 out with runners at 2 and 3 is always a pretty nice thing to have. So.
Well, you've got options, haven't you?
Yeah.
Even with Maddie Cameron hitting 456, 22 RBIs, 11 extra base hits on the season.
Didn't matter who it was. That was the point. That was the point. That's the only time, there was any rule I learnt to play when you didn't play the player. So, but it's a different game now. It's changed. So it's a much more hit and run orientated league for sure.
Cameron goes long ball. This has got the journey. You can tell off the bat. 2 home runs in 2 games. For Maddie Cameron, a 3-run blast here in the bottom of the third, stretching the lead out to 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably good that she didn't bunt that one. Yeah, I mean, look, as Lee says, the old school, you play the percentage, but in a game like this, when you've got secondary pitches on, it's a bit of a looser night, and Maddie's just sat back and waited on that, and she's gone over the fence for the 2nd time in 2 games against West Torrens. That's going to feel pretty good for Sturt's number 2 hitter.
Leading team's replay, you saw her load up, then that swing, she just made perfect connection. Powerhouse, isn't she?
Certainly is. Was like you called it, great call, James. It was gone from the time it was hit.
Yeah, bad call, Anthony. So that's what that was. But again, I think when you look back through that Sturt lineup, again, I mean, we've talked about it quite a bit over the last couple of games that when we've seen them play, to get to Sturt, it seems don't put runners on in base in front of Belle White and Maddie Cameron.
Pop up, Nucky has to get under this. Fidge doesn't even run. And the out is made.
Scarily, that's the first out of the innings too. So, yeah, like we've talked about, that's 50% of their offense being generated by 2 hitters. So, and while Sarah Tonkins are, batting 371 and is a great hitter, she's also leading off. So she's one of these people that's scoring those runs. So
now I don't know if the two of them would be in any friendly competition with each other, but I note that Cameron now goes to 15 hits with runners in scoring position, whereas Bell White's only on 14. Tash Traps, great shot. Again, it's that 5-6 hole. It has had a lot of business tonight. The karaoke, as it's called.
Well, yeah, it's funny that play that Lana had before, she was fielding, and even then you can still see that she's fielding more to the left, but they've just found that spot and they're just hitting that spot all night long. So
5th hit to left field tonight, Lee.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it, already, so early in the game.
2 of them for extra bases. And just on that rivalry between Cameron and White, Cameron now overtakes Belinda White for RBIs as well. She goes to 25, Belinda White straggling behind on 23. The 2 league leaders.
I'm sure those two would be keeping a close eye on each other in that regard. So
Bector Silva looks to get into the party, but there is Steph Trzynski in great fielding position. So there you go. So some adjustments in the field for West Torrens, and Trzynski makes that catch.
Yeah, she's obviously come in and fielded shallower to the left-handed hitter De Silva, but at the same stage, Steph has read that really well off the bat and made good ground, and it was a sure out.
Very good defensive player, Steph is, apart from being a very excellent pitcher.
And she can bat too.
Yep.
And that brings Maddie Ashby to the plate, who
hit the long triple.
Long triple to start up Sturt last time.
Got to shut it down there, don't they, the Eagles? Getting a few too many runs.
Ashby pops up. Bill is an outfielder, so she can negotiate a pop-up, and she does the fielding for the 3rd out. Sturt Falcons, 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd. They extend their lead. It's 5-0 after 3.
Yeah, they've made the adjustments quicker in this sense, and you can see by their left-fielded hitting that they're just sitting back and waiting on the pitch, and they're just waiting for good pitches, and most of that stuff is coming down the middle, just obviously the variance more in height and speed, whereas the Straps girl is obviously utilising those edges a little bit more with a similar pace. So the challenges for West Torrens is to answer here. They showed some signs last innings. They've got to carry it through this time.
There's Maddie Cameron again, the home run hitter on screen.
Just going to mention, James, from the Pride round that we had on the weekend, that which was hosted by West Torrens. Obviously, their goal was $500, and they've raised $823 so far.
To support -18? To
support -18, which is just an amazing effort. And that's still open till the end of the month. And Walkerville Softball Club donated $162, which was brought around by the sale of their rainbow socks. So just the softball community just gathering around a great initiative by West Torrens on the weekend. So well done to everybody.
Yeah, fantastic to see the support shown around the place. It was rainbows in every game, and those socks and the playing tops look terrific. Here's Trzynski. Goes to the backhand side of White. She gets her footing. Great pickup from Millie Fidge to make that out.
It certainly was. That was thrown. The Bell was, got to the ball quickly enough and then threw it down. One bounce, but Millie, great reach. Looked like a safe hit to me, but it wasn't. Well done.
Well, here's a great angle of the leading team's replay. Very close, as they call it, a bang-bang play.
So what happens when you've got an arm, doesn't it?
Yeah, on the deep backside too. Long throw for shortstop. Not for Bell White though, so just didn't quite middle that. That sounded a bit high up the barrel.
Nucky smashes this in her wheelhouse and she rounds first. She's had a couple of hits over the last couple of games against the Falcons.
Yeah, that's where she likes to hit it, doesn't she?
Yeah, just keeping it simple too. Just, you know, just waiting for a good pitch, get a good pitch and not overextend. Just watch that ball right onto the bat.
Well, the first at-bat was a line drive down the throat of the left fielder, so she's had 2 well-hit balls tonight.
Danny Baskey comes to the plate with just the 1 out. Kelsey's at first and takes the first pitch for a ball. Yeah, Sarah Tonkin's doing an amazing job of just moving straps around that plate, not just changing the pace, but just making sure that West Torrens are getting a different look each time.
Yeah, you don't want to add quality batter to see the same pitch twice in a row. So Tonkin's calling here is terrific because she's in, then she's out. She's up, then she's down. She's throwing in the spinners and the changes of pace, and she's mixing up real well and executed perfectly so far in this game from Straps.
Yeah, and that change up just there. Sorry, Lee. Just just a great call for just a change up there. And it was low and outside. So
an active catcher, don't you love it?
Baskey goes opposite field. It's straight to Beck De Silva for the second out of the 4th inning. It was a pretty good piece of the ball, but well taken. It was a good read off the bat from Beck De Silva.
She's a good player, Indigo. Reliable is the word I'm looking for.
Brody Borovnik comes to the plate, 2 out. Flied out to a good catch by Maddie Cameron to centre field last time.
That's where she'll go again, Brody, here on this type of pitching.
Yeah, centre left for sure.
Oh, having said that,
Up the alley, Beck De Silva's trying to run it down. It's Cameron to the ball first. Nucky holds up at 3 because, well, if you're any other team in the competition, you're probably going to give up a run on a hit like that. But that ball, run down from Cameron with the best arm in the league, throws it to Belinda White, who's got the best catching arm or shortstop arm in the league. And you're not going to score a run on either of those 2 arms. So great shot from Borovnik. She'll stand up at 2.
2 out. Time for Carly now to get one to land somewhere for a run, if not 2.
Yeah, just needs to be patient.
I think Mel McGee said that Carly Allen's pretty good in the clutch. She's hitting .455 with runners in scoring position. If there's a time to get your team back in the game, now is it. There it goes up the middle. Borovnik will take on the arm of Cameron. She loves a challenge. She goes home. No slide required as Carly Allen drives in 2 runs on the single to centre field with 2 out.
Great team batting from Carly.
Yeah. Well, Mel's called it right again, and that's the great job by Carly. Found some space. I thought there for a moment straight off the bat, that's exactly how she got out in the first innings, her first at-bat, Carly, with Nucky taking Tonkin taking a great catch. But this time, it's just a little bit further up the middle, and even at full extension, she couldn't get to it. Maddie Cameron's come round, and the Coach Scott sent Brody Borovnik, and it was bang, bang at the plate. It was going to be close.
Brody's got good leg speed.
Yeah, she does.
Well, when your catcher gets on base with 2 out and you got the opportunity to bring in a courtesy runner, I wouldn't have thought you'd go to your ace pitcher. Steph Trzynski has come out to do the base running. Pop up, foul territory. Tonkin gets under it and just out of reach. It nicks the top of the glove, and she has a wry smile and a missed opportunity.
There's no breeze, but it seemed to just drift back, didn't it?
Yeah,
for some reason.
I thought for a moment there I was about to throw James over your lead just to keep you protected, but
no, that's all right. I would have caught it.
I didn't get my chance to finish what I was saying about Trzynski. Still has 3 stolen bases on the season.
Yeah, but interesting at 2 out. That being said, you put the ball on the green, as Lee would say, and Trzynski could definitely pressure the throw. You never know what happens.
I certainly wouldn't run it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have sent her out there, but sometimes players, when they go out, sometimes it's hard for them to say no to them.
Well, we've got three young players.
Are you saying coaching's difficult?
Oh, they've got 3 young players on the bench. And, yeah, I guess if you look at the batters that have been before, Trzynski's the better runner out of a couple of them. So, actually not a bad choice unless you go to your bench.
Yeah.
Takes
That's
off
great
on
job.
the pitch.
Great job by Sarah Tonkin. What she did there, she just... Obviously, Mary Fuss went deep in the count, but she set her up early, and then with a couple of pitches, she just took the pace away. And whilst they were balls even in front of the count, what it did was it just got Mary just to sit, and it enabled her to then go back inside hard on the hands, which was enough just to catch Fuss by surprise for a great strikeout. Well done, Sarah Tonkin.
First KC for the innings, for the game, that is.
And the first strikeout for Tash Straps in the game as well. So both pitchers with a strikeout each. But the score's 5-2. These two teams played in a 6-1 game on Saturday, just gone in favour of the Falcons.
The Eagles, from my view, they got plenty of people on base early, didn't they? They scored 1 run, but left a few there early. And I think... And then Sturt just got on top of them.
Yeah, from memory, it was 6 in the first 3.
Yep.
So, and yeah, it did come back and obviously hurt them right at the end. I mean, 6-1 scoreboard, when you look at it, doesn't look great, but in the context of that game, up until the last 15 minutes, it was 2-1.
It's just getting those runs to score that you got on base, isn't it?
Yeah. But there's definitely a different vibe now as we go into the bottom 4th here.
Yeah, it's the 9-hitter for the Falcons. Rachel Tonkin has a single from her one and only plate appearance so far in the game, and it'd be about now that you'd think that Andrew Scott would be thinking maybe go to Izzy Benedictson, who's thrown a couple of innings each year over the last couple of years, maybe to mix it up, something different off the plate, because third time round to Tonkin, Adams, White and Cameron, who are all due up next. You wouldn't think is an ideal situation for your team to be in when you're 5-2 down.
No. And Mel talked about it on the weekend, about the type of character that Jackie, the young Bill girl, is in regards to that. She's the ultimate team player, would do anything for the team, and you know she's obviously showing that tonight in spades in regards, you know.
Well, I think a little bit differently here. I think if they get close enough within 1, I think we'll see Steph.
Did you see her warming up prior to the game?
No, I didn't.
I didn't see.
I didn't
see the warm up.
No, I didn't.
And no activity in either bullpens at the moment either.
I'm just thinking what I'd do, which may be wrong.
Well, I've been wrong plenty of times tonight, Lee. So I wouldn't disagree with you, but it'd be interesting on the way that game finished in regards to whether or not it would depend for me on where you are in the lineup. I'm not entirely sure that I'd be pitching Steph through the top of the lineup. I'd want them to, the next time the top of the lineup, well, they see her, will be semi-final 1.
They've got to get back to within 1, I think, before I be.
They actually do face off one more time after tonight, round 17. So it'll be about 2 weeks before final start. And they'll likely face off against each other, 1 and 2. Port Adelaide in a upset. They went down on Saturday to Walkerville, who are in 5th place, to keep their finals hopes alive, 1 point behind Hills. But then it's a bit of a gap for 3rd place, which is where Port Adelaide sit, and then another gap, 6 points behind the top 2 teams on 28 points. Shot up the middle. That's Tonkin's bread and butter.
Is it ever?
And so, and an overthrow. We know extra bases for the Falcons, and why would you risk it? You've got Adams, who's due up. She's been on base twice. You've got White coming up after that, and then the home run hitter in Maddie Cameron.
So Sarah's up the middle hitter, and even with the slower pitching, she still put it up the middle. Flat shot.
Timeout called. Here is Scott, and here is Benedictson.
Yeah, good call, James. Couldn't see
No, I
bullpen from
couldn't
here,
see the
so-
bullpen either. So,
he's got inside knowledge, so I think.
well done to Jackie Beale. She's come in and done a job for her team, just as Mel McGee suggested she would do for her side. And that is because in the lead up to finals, there's no point risking your ace when you're going to finish top 2.
Yep.
And Jackie Beale comes in and plays that role for the team real well. Here is the youngster, Izzy Benedictson. It is her 3rd season in the A grade. I think she only played 1 or 2 games in her first year. Lee, I'm looking for some acknowledgement there.
Yeah.
And then so far in this year, well, actually, she pitched way more last year than she has so far this year. Just the 1 game. It was a start, and she gave up a couple of early runs in a tough game against a handy opponent in Walkerville earlier in the year. But it was a close game in the end, so it definitely wasn't her pitching that let the team down. So good to see her back in the Premier League.
Yeah, and you can see a little bit of baseball here in the sense that the pitcher that's coming on late is a little bit quicker. So Sturt have spent the first 4 innings, adjusting to a slower pitcher who's just up and down in regards to the zone, and then the next pitcher that comes on towards the end of the game has just got that extra yard. So it's a matter of Sturt making quick adjustments to that.
Well, Lee, I would say that you would call Jackie Beale a genuine part-timer, and she does play in the B grade occasionally to throw a few innings, but Izzy's a starter. She's a gun pitcher in the under-16 age group. She'll represent the state as well at Nationals this year.
Awesome.
So,
And that's what you need with your pitchers, variety. You don't need 2 of the 2 clones.
Yep. Good positive start too.
straight to work with a called strike on Neve Adams. Should be up for this challenge, you'd think, at both junior players, both in the under 18, under 16 age groups.
Biggest problem West Torrens got right now, though, is they haven't got any outs. They need to get this ball on the ground, preferably in the infield, and try and double this team up and send one of the two guns to the plate with 2 out and not too many people on.
Yes, a double would be the ideal scenario here.
Well, this is what we keep talking about. This is what Sturt do so well,
Yep.
is that people are on base when White and Cameron come to the plate, and that's why they do the damage that they do. So
I'm not sure whether Neve, the batter, missed a signal then. She had a swing at a really high pitch and runners weren't going anywhere.
no.
Foul ball.
Power. She's got some power, this young girl, hasn't she?
Yep, she's just starting to see that ball a bit now, so she's been doing that all night in regards to pulling down that side. So she's had a couple of good pieces already.
Look at her and Bell playing in the left side of the diamond in the infield. Both shortstop and third base, it's their arm that beats you.
Yeah.
If you get beaten and bang bang play, it's
Look at
their
how far.
arm.
Look how far Lana's come across at shortstop.
Yeah.
I know she's adjusted now, but
She's expecting to go down the left field line.
yeah. Even Amber Hood's pushed up the middle a bit, so that's not cheating just to get to second. I think that's more protection. Well,
Great catch from Hoyle. Here's your double
There's a
play.
double.
there you go. That's what they needed. Wow.
Great catch at the top of her reach. Or it had to be a reflex as well. As she, leading team's replay, up and off the ground, fires it across to Nucky. She could have had a look at 2.
She could have had 2. Like, Amber Hood was already there, and Rachel was a good 15, 20 feet out. So, but, you know.
Second double play for the Eagles tonight.
Yeah.
Runner on scoring, in scoring position, runner on 2.
Whatever you like.
Now, Lee's favourite thing to say right now with a champion in the box is, I'd walk her.
That's exactly what I'd do.
Yeah.
Funny you should say that.
I would. I said it on Saturday, and most of my predictions have been wrong. But I wouldn't be walking her, bringing home run hitting Maddie Cameron to the plate. Thanks, but
I'd still be walking it.
sure. It's it's a tough call either way. So I know Maddie'd like you to walk her.
White holds her hands back a little and looks to put it opposite field.
And on Saturday, Bell did provide a hit, and I think scored one or two with that hit. And that's what I'm trying to prevent here.
Yeah.
Well, another one of Lee's change up. I'd go change right here. Trying to get that outside edge.
Yeah.
Only because White's seen a couple of pitches. They're coming in a little quicker than what she saw against Beale. But show if this kid's got some mettle. Throw a couple of change-ups in a row as well and see if you can get White to either pop one up or mistime one.
Yeah.
Instead, she line drives one up the middle, and Rachel Tonkin won't score on that one because she was evading that ball for her life as White gets her second hit of the ball game. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay.
Yeah, she's just waited on that, and inside.
And nearly collects the runner on the way through.
And that's what I mean here, Anthony.
Yep.
The runner would have still been at second if you passed her up.
Yeah.
Now she's at third. Any ball getting away from the catcher is scoring her.
Well, Cameron.
Yeah, but I also suggested that, there should be, there was an old rule that if it was runners at 1 and 2 with none out, you would bunt, and then she put it over left field at 240 feet. So, I mean, when a player's hitting the ball like that, you tend to just let them go, let them play.
Cameron's last three turns it back. Home run, line drive to shortstop, home run.
Yeah, but I'm thinking it's Premier League, and I'm thinking I'm in there to win.
Off the end of the bat, Benedictson takes a catch with her bare hand. Did it come off the glove at all?
I didn't see the glove at that. I was watching her just there.
Let's have a look at the leading team's replay.
I'll tell you what, that ball was spinning back, though. I know that much. It was... Oh, no, she's caught it with her non-glove hand and then covered it with her glove hand in reverse.
Here's a better angle.
Well done. Bit of glove, bit of pocket.
Well done from Benedictson either way to get Maddie Cameron, with the form that she's in, the context of the game, shut down the Falcons' top order after they had 2 on with none out. A double play to the first batter that she faced, gave up a single to Belinda White. That's, well, there's no disgrace in that. And then pop up for Maddie Cameron. So that keeps the Eagles in the game. Where are we? We're about an hour in, so still about 30 minutes to go. You'd think maybe only 1 or 2 more chances for the Eagles. Top of the order.
Top of the order, that's it. I was just going to comment on that. Here's their chance.
And couldn't have a better player for West Torrens coming to the plate in this situation. Obviously, their form player at the moment.
This girl, Amber, is a very consistent player. This year, she's been just fitted in there perfectly.
Are you suggesting that she's as good as the Harris girl?
I have no comment on that. He's a bit bigger than me, her husband, so I'm not saying anything.
Hit by pitch for Amber Hood to lead off the 5th inning.
No, different type of player, Amber and Jordan.
Jordan Harris actually led the competition in home runs last year with 5. And we've got Belinda White leading the competition this year on 3.
Just for the record, he didn't go to the stat book for that too. That's just straight off the top of the head.
Yeah, straight off the top of his heart, I think.
Yeah.
Kaiser goes first pitch. It's a pop-up. White backs back, calls everyone out and says, this one is mine. So aggressive turn it back from Kaiser, trying to keep things going, get some momentum, maybe even put a charge into one.
A good pitch from Tash, though.
Yeah, needed. It was well done by Tash and Sarah there. Probably could have just had a bit more of a look.
Hoyle for her third look at straps, and she had a walk, and then she was in a real good hitters count, 3-1 before a pop up to third base. So look, when you talk about players that can change the score or the way that the game is going, this is one of those players. We mentioned that Cameron and White are the top 2 RBI hitters in the competition. Well, Hoyle's 3rd.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the next batter who's on deck is 4th in the competition. So the top 4 RBI hitters in the competition in this game today.
Yeah, and again, there's a fairly heavy reliance on those two as well. So 36 of 77, so not half, but very close to it. So, I mean, it's just going to be the same in most teams. That's why they're in the positions that they're in.
Hoyle looks like she's going opposite field. Cameron chases it down and takes a magnificent catch in the alley. She was definitely left of centre there, Maddie Cameron. She read it off the bat. Well, that's why she's one of the best. She should be in the Australian team. I'm just going to say it. Have a look at her positioning here. And she covers this easily.
Yeah, easily. And not only that, the scary part here is the throw, not only on the money, might I add, is back in play before Amber's even got back. So
I wouldn't have been at total surprise if Maddie hadn't rifled that back the first then.
Yeah, that's just an amazing piece of outfielder.
Leg speed and judgment.
And you're right. Well, she should have been in the Olympic team. So
ground ball to short. Here's White. She knocks it down. Almost a catch. That's safe. That is great wheels from both Trzynski and Hood. Here goes Trzynski again. There's plenty happening here.
The ball didn't go far enough away, did it then?
No.
For the run.
Well, that's why she came into courtesy run the last inning. How good was that? She took on Belinda White. It was a slight fumble, and we've seen White make that play a half dozen times this year and still throw the runner out. There's Hood taking it on.
And you'll notice here, I don't know if you'll see it in screen, but Tonkin's run up that first base line to back that up. And so nobody was at the plate. Straps hadn't covered up at the plate. So Amber actually looked down the third base line and there was nobody at home. But as Lee said, the ball just wasn't far enough away to take the risk. Not on the arms that the Sturt infield have got.
Great change of pace from Tash Straps. It really takes out the power that Nucky has to the left side. We've seen two great shots. It was an infield single for Trzynski, by the way. Oh, there's a quicker one. So a great little 1-2 combo for Tash Straps. Catches Nucky just a little late on that one, fouling it off. And behind the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 runners on and 2 out.
Can't go down looking here, Kels.
Great mix.
Goes back to that change up. How good has she been tonight, Tash Straps? Keeping this team top of the table, West Torrens at bay through 5. High. Nucky chases it up. It is trouble. It spills. Adams in the palm again. We saw that early in the game. She caught one in foul territory in the palm. This one also into the palm, and it spills fair. So Nucky aboard safely. Run crosses a plate. Leading team's replay, we see Trzynski to third.
Yeah, and it was just it was up very high. So it was a difficult catch to take, and as you say, that ball would have been spinning backwards. So
big let off there, wasn't it?
Smart running by Trzynski. She's obviously made third and was ready to go, but made the right decision there. So,
well, is that the life and the chance that the Eagles needed? They closed the gap a little. It's 5-3. 2 runners on base still. There is 2 out. Danny Baskai is in the box now. She's hitting 300. It's a solid average, but we haven't really seen her in a very important moment because the Eagles have been flying this year.
Yeah, she's gone centre and right her last 2 play at bats.
There's Rachel Tonkin. You wouldn't have picked out any other player if you could have tonight. Rachel Tonkin has been on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Anthony, but I wouldn't be going the first pitch.
No,
still
same
runs out there, you're trailing by 2.
Yeah.
Just force this pitcher to throw more than that.
Yeah, same with Lana, like that her at bat, and I understand why, you know, that mentality to be aggressive, but it's, you know, if you're going at a first pitch, it's got to be a guarantee, and there's no guarantees in sport, obviously, but I'm saying it's got to be a fat pitch. It's got to be right.
You've got to put the pressure back on the middle.
Yep.
Where it belongs, you know, when you look like running, getting a couple of runs in.
All right, well, we started talking about hustling as the game went on Saturday, and or the last couple of games, I should say. And here we go. West Torrens have got 20 minutes, so they need to make 3 outs. They'll get another chance. They're at 7, 8, 9 in the order. If they can get a spark from the bottom half of the order, you know, that top 3, 4, 5 batters for West Torrens could just bring them straight back into the game. But they need 3 quick ones here against the middle of the order for the Falcons. We've got 5, 6, 7 hitters: Fidge, Straps, and Beck de Silva due up.
Yeah, and look, if you're the coach, you're challenging your players to, you know, make that change, force them to make a change in their bullpen if they have to. So I've liked what I've seen in the last 20 minutes from West Torrens. There was a smart pitching change. There's definitely some energy in about them now. But, you know, Sturt's bottom half of their lineup, I mean, always dangerous.
Millie Fidge batting .279 on the season.
Yeah, dangerous. Can be a dangerous hitter for sure.
Well, never looks troubled, does she?
No,
she's still a teenager.
Yeah.
Yet when she's on the mound, she's got one emotion.
I remember driving.
She just keeps it in control now in the batter's box.
Yeah, I remember driving home on Saturday, having a chat with the pitcher in the car on the way home, and you know, the one thing that we both noticed, and whether or not it's a bit of the Darren pedigree, it's just like she threw the first 3 batters she threw were walks, and loaded West Torrens up, none out, and didn't look fussed, and came back and made the adjustments that she needed and became dominant after that. Just, yeah, that's a great temperament for somebody so young, and that's probably why the University of Hawaii signed her.
Second walk of the game for Fidge. And Carly Allen just goes out just to have a word to a young pitcher, and then some encouragement as well from Amber Hood. So, speaking of players that don't ever look phased, Benna Dixon not showing too much disappointment in that walk. I mean, it's only a runner. Let's get the next one.
Yep.
And there she is. She fires one in for a called strike.
Well, see, sometimes that's the beauty of young players when they come up, is because that, you know, all of the, I suppose, history between the two teams and the knowledge of the players, because they don't have it, they're not shackled by it, and so they can just go out there and play the game for what it is. And that's why sometimes you see, you know, young kids come up in environments like this, do amazing things. So
just clear your head, see the ball, hit the ball.
Yep.
Sounds simple. It can be.
Good job, Carly. That could have been worse.
Yeah, she knocked it down and kept it in front, but Fidge didn't need much to get up and going over to second base, so the force now off.
So one thing that's noticeable is just that Sturt have done a great job of just getting their lead off on. And so you're constantly under pressure when you're having to set up your innings. And so, you know, now West Torrens find themselves in a situation where they've got to, you know, work with a runner and defend 2 types of plays.
4 of the 5 innings.
Yep.
Oh, ground ball to Hoyle. Should check the runner briefly. Fire it across to Nucky for the first out. I was just going to say, to Anthony's comment, they're doing good to get their lead off on. 4 of the 5 innings so far, walks to start the inning.
That's why it's so important. You know, that's why when you see these players lead off innings, you know, the way that lineups are structured, it's what you're looking for.
Well, besides the great hitting from the Falcons, we have seen the Eagles defence just step it up a notch here today, I'd say. A couple of double plays have been pretty clean in the field so far. And that's what they were renowned for as well. Weren't they, Lee? You go back a couple of years, we were praising the best infield in the competition. They were backing up a young pitcher in Maddie Scott as well, who shouldered the load for a good part of 2 seasons.
And for a defence that's on its left side, has had the ball hit it at an awful lot tonight. You know, other than probably a miscommunication on a fly ball at the fence between Hoyle and Kayser, they've both been rock solid on that left side. Remembering that Lana did have a ball get through her on the weekend, you know, a tough play.
Here's a chance again for the Eagles infielders. Millie Fidge takes on the arm of the third base player in Sophie Hoyle. This one was a bit of a slow roller, so she could take off because she wasn't going to get checked if the out was going to be made. So great play all round from both sides here, leading teams replay.
Yep, and that's what, one of the reasons that Beck bats that type of way is to try and advance runners and use her pace to create pressure. But,
Mucky was great there as well. Good throw.
Borovnik did a good job. She was around on the fence backing that up, so they're still switched on.
Centre field and right field need to be in here. They need to catch this ball. It's hitting the air because her first turn at bat, Matty, she went out left field with that triple. But I'm thinking that side of the diamond, Mary come in a bit, just catch the ball. It's going to hurt if you don't for a run.
That's an important piece of catching there by Carly inside. Took her off her feet, but if that spills, there was no coverage coming to the plate. That's would have been 6-3.
Yeah, picture is he's just got to concentrate on this batter, nothing else.
Yeah, she's just, and a young pitcher too. You can just see here, she's just starting to rush a little bit, and sometimes, pitchers normally want to be able to dictate tempo and time, and as a young pitcher that can be hard to do. You feel obligated to sort of get back up and get the next pitch up, but this is what experience is. This is
got to shut Matty down here because it's the Tonkin sisters next. 2 down.
2-1 turns into 3-1. Well, hitters count with a runner in scoring position as well. A little bit of pressure on the pitcher, and catcher will call this one almost down the middle. You can guarantee it. She gets after this one to the backhand side of Kaiser, and Ashby's got her second hit of the game.
Great effort,
RBI.
Lana. That's a great effort by Lana, though. That's a difficult bouncing ball to field, and she's made a great effort to fully extend to get across to that.
Well, that's got to be the 6th hit in that spot for the game. And she's denied the Falcons a couple of hits as well, so there's been plenty of action in there. Hoyle's been busy at third, so
9 safe hits so far, I think. That's a lot of safe hits.
Yep. Ashby's got 2 hits for the game. She's got 2 RBIs.
Well, I mean, and this is what a coach wants at this time of the year. I mean, Maddie Ashby comes into the game tonight with a batting average of 43, and is 1 for 23 from the plate. And, tonight, triple, single, couple of RBIs, that's what you need to have a young player have some confidence.
Yeah, that's fine. But different type of pitching, isn't it?
Sure. But she'll see the uniform and she'll say that I got a couple of hits against West Torrens in the field. And it just gives the coach an opportunity when you get into the end of the year that you can sort of go to your bench and, the player doesn't necessarily feel like they're going to be completely overwhelmed. They're not going to necessarily remember the pitcher.
And she's reliable out at left field.
Base on balls.
Rachel gets on that many times.
Well, she's 3 for 3 tonight, single and 2 walks to bring up the top of the order. A little bit of disagreement from the field on that pitch, but 4th ball called. Runners at 1 and 2. It's Ashby, Rachel Tonkin, and in the box, Sarah Tonkin. Two walks in this inning. 2 ground balls to third.
Yep.
And an RBI single to left field for the Falcons.
Doesn't normally hit the ball in the air.
But I am liking that the young pitcher, I'm not sure if somebody's tipped her off, but she's just watching the walk, which the infield weren't particularly happy about. Neither was the pitcher by that glance there.
It didn't look like Alan had moved from the centre of the plate. So, yeah, well picked up from our team at Spacequake Sports.
But it didn't change it.
No.
That's the worst thing about it.
But
so if they watch the replay, they'll say that was definitely, yeah.
That's what she's after, Benedictson. It's now 3-1. The 2 runners in scoring position. Still 10 minutes of regulation time to go. No new innings in another 5. If you're going to get a third out, you want it now. Tonkin pops it up. It's to the right side. Mary Fuss comes in to take the catch. Her first play of the night.
And unusual for Sarah. She doesn't hit pop-up balls like that very often.
Well, right in the nick of time, you'd say, because they've got their 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up with runners on. Eagles just managing to keep them at bay yet again. They did give up 1. The lead goes back out to 3, and after 5, it's 6-3.
Yeah, you got what you wanted, though. You got a bit of hustle, and you got a quicker innings than they showed on the weekend, where there didn't seem to be that type of hustle there. So, yeah.
Well, come finals time, that doesn't matter because you play it out. You play these 7 innings, and but when the game is tied, if you want some more at-bats, if you want to show your fight, you want to show the opposition that you're not taking a backward step, I think the best way to do that is to play the game on your own terms, play it at a fast pace as well, show them that, you know, we're not backing down.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to go into, you know, the first final having been rolled by the opposition the last 2 or 3 times that you've played them in the last couple of weeks, but I mean, granted, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but mentally, you know, there's always that part of you that just sort of wants to, you know, have something over the opposition. But I think tonight, what I've seen from West Torrens was much, you know, as I said, the weekend was very close, right up and, you know, towards the end where it sort of got away from them. But tonight they've showed some fight, as Lee pointed out. You know, these pitchers aren't going to be throwing at that particular time of the year, but you know, they could have just swung at first pitches and let it go, but they fought through.
Fair point.
Yep. So the lead-off here in top 6 is Brody Borovnik playing left field. And she's 1 ball, 1 strike. Sarah continually setting up that outside edge, and Straps hitting that edge, doing a great job. A couple of these younger West Torrens hitters just dragging that ball across the plate back to the left side, where we really want them just to hold back a touch and just punch that ball through the other side.
Ground ball to White, and as easy as you like, fires it across for the first out. That's number 1. If you're looking at the time, West Torrens probably down to their last 2 outs.
Yep. Still at this point, I think both teams are going to go away from tonight with a bunch of positives in certain situations. You know, players that haven't been hitting maybe as well as they have. There's been great fielding, you know, so it's still some stuff to take away from the game, knowing that they've got to play each other again in a couple of weeks. Carly just out in front on that one, just fouling that off. So 1-1 count. Good change up by Beck Straps. Carly good enough to stay off of it for 2 balls and 1 strike.
Allen goes to centre field, just out of reach of Cameron. It gets past her. So Allen just rounds first. She thought about 2. Great backup from Maddie Ashby as, well, she's got her hand out, Maddie Cameron. She's not happy that she missed that one, but she looks okay. Great shot, second hit of the game for Carly Allen. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay.
I was worried there for a sec that she'd maybe landed and hurt herself on the right shoulder, but she seemed to be just more disappointed about the fact that she didn't get the catch. But what an amazing effort still.
Yep. Well, that
could have gone.
That part of the diamond is a little bit of a nightmare. The West Torrens City Council dug up a massive trench through our centre field and backfilled it with garbage soil. So it looks different from an aerial view as well. So Yeah, she's landed on the hardest part of the outfield there as well.
If there's a player who is going to do that and is strong enough to bounce up from that, that would be Maddie Cameron. So
I will say that the rest of the grass in the outfield is magnificent thanks to the West Beach Parks precinct and grounds crew. They do a magnificent work with our irrigation and the mowings of the lawn. Mary Fuss back in the box. It's the 9-hitter. She got aboard her first time from a fumble from Belinda White. You don't see that very often. And then an important strikeout. So Tash Straps and Mary Fuss head-to-head, you'd say a 1-1. So this will be a decider between the two.
Well, the important thing here is if she gets on, she brings Amber Hood to the plate. That's the important thing. And then that changes the context of everything. So she's...
And that'll be the second strikeout. So points to Straps for that battle. And Amber Hood does come to the plate with 1 out.
2 out now.
There is the courtesy runner. They've gone to the bench this time. It is Riley Benedictson. Amber Hood brought up the wrong bat. She uses the Eastern Ghost Advance. I was going to mention it before. The top 4 RBI hitters in the competition, White, Cameron, Hoyle, Trzynski, all use the Ghost.
The Eastern Ghost talks.
Eastern Ghost.
And it does.
The best bat on the market.
So just as a point of reference, Sturt's number 9 has got on tonight, fire a hit and a couple of walks. So she's been on base 3 from 3. And
hitting a couple of walks, is that an oxymoron?
And the 9-hitter,
and the 9-hitter for Torrens has had 2 strikeouts and got on by an error. And that's just that difference of creating pressure.
Adams with a good arm. It gets away from first base Millie Fidge. So a life for the Eagles. They were down to their last out. Amber Hood puts down a slow roller. Riley Benedictson gets on her bike and gets to third. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay.
Yep, slow, difficult. Good rocket arm there from Adams to try and make the play, but just a bit low. Millie's fast stretch out. But Lana's just got to be patient here and back herself. Just go through the count and find a pitch because she's capable. She showed it to us last Wednesday where she had that last at bat against Walkerville where she went centre right and put the ball to the fence on that side. She can do that.
Great change.
That's a terrific. And that's one of her strengths, Tash, over the years, hasn't it? Change up. She's just, I think for a few years it was her best pitch.
Foul ball from Kayser. She goes aggressive at this.
But, you know, pressure back on Lana, but she's good enough.
She's good enough, all right.
Yeah, pressure will bring the best out. So, again, doesn't have to overextend.
Hasn't got the ball out the infield tonight yet. It can change.
Hard ball, well fielded from Tash Straps to make the out. That'll be it for the ball game, and just like that, in the space of 5 days, the Falcons fly to top of the table. Leading team's replay, hard shot from Kayser. She's got plenty of it. There's Tash Straps, and just as easy as you like, she throws it across for the 3rd out.
Notice Tash just stepped aside to, you know, let her glove field that. So that was good. Yeah, well done.
Well, with the 2 wins from the last 2 games, both against West Torrens, who have been sitting top, they will leapfrog, go into top place on 30 points, leaving West Torrens on 28. West Torrens do have a game in hand and runs against are in favour of the Eagles still. So with 5 games to go for Sturt, they sit on 30 points. With 16 games to go for West Torrens, they're on 28. 15 wins for Sturt, 14 for West Torrens, both teams with 5 losses. Coming up for West Torrens, they've got Port Adelaide this weekend. They play Hills next Wednesday right here on Space Quake Sports. And then 4 more games after that, whereas the Falcons, their next game's against bottom of the ladder Glenelg Rebels. And then they get a week off before they, actually I think it's a couple of weeks off with the break for Junior State Championship. So
what's up at the Hills?
Yep, so Sturt at the moment, cruise control tonight, weren't they? You have a look at their best players tonight and you know, Rachel Tonkin stands out to me. She was solid as a rock at second. She made a couple of great plays, and then in the 9 spot got a single, 2 walks, didn't break a sweat, and was terrific tonight. Tash Straps pitched well as a part-timer, giving Millie Fidge a bit of a break as well. And Maddie Ashby, her best game for the season for her, 2 RBIs, 2 hits. And then their middle order were as damaging as usual. Cameron's home run, Belle White's 2 for 2.
Yeah, Neve Adams also got on, picked up a walk as well, scored, but also had some great plays in the field. Like early, she was, you know, on the left side of the diamond. She was in amongst it, so some good plays there. But I think, again, we both said on Saturday that we thought that we were going to see not the main pitches tonight. We didn't. As we expected, and so those types of games have a capability to blow out or turn into run fests or some real, you know, poor batting. But I think credit to both teams. It was still a quality game. Tash, the Straps on the mound was great for Sturt.
Yeah, so I can't disagree with any of that, Anthony. It was one of those games, wasn't it? And but all the pitchers come in, they look like they were pitching with confidence. And sure, they're not going to blow you away, but they can just do what they can do. And with the help from their catchers, and both catchers did a really good job.
Yeah.
And just educate them, you know. Young people, that's how you learn. Learn what it takes and then go from there.
All right, just a quick one here, Lee, for you, and maybe Anthony, you can chime in here. The 4 games that these two teams have played, Sturt have the 3-1 advantage. Sturt won 2-1, 6-1, and tonight 6-3. The one win that West Torrens had was a 9-2 blowout in a run rule victory. Where to here for West Torrens? They've got to play them again, then they'll likely play 1v2 first week of the finals.
I think it's going to be tight, real tight. My prediction, as you are aware of, halfway through the season, I went for West Torrens. I think it's going to be their year. I'm not taking anything away from Sturt. They're a terrific side. We saw that again tonight. But I think West Torrens at their best. If their bats are going collectively, they have got a big chance this year.
Yeah, they get a bit of spark. I mean, again, you know, not to sort of go on it too much, but, you know, half of Sturt's offense comes from 2 players as far as scoring them. So, you know, stopping that number 9 from getting on base, stopping the leadoffs from getting on every time. Some little things that West Torrens can go away and set some plans up. You know, force, you know, Sturt's 5, 6, 7, 8 to be the ones that are going to have to come up with it. But it's dangerous. I'd still think it's anybody's game.
All right, just wanted to touch on West Torrens, but now we switch our attention over to top of the table now. Sturt Falcons. They are flying at the moment, the Falcons, and they are absolutely in control of their own destiny here by beating the top of the table, West Torrens, to go to top themselves. Is anyone going to be able to stop them into the run to the finals?
No, I don't think so in that sense. I think Millie Fidge is just, every time she goes to the mound, she just seems to get a little bit better, if that's possible. You know, but
they have all the bases covered, don't they?
Yeah.
You look at it defensively, offensively, you know, everything's covered.
But I think the point you both made is well made. If West Torrens can get their bats hot at that right time, and obviously Coach Scott's going to give them, you know, he's the best person to be able to give them, you know, the tutelage for that. You know, if they can get some momentum, if they can get that vibe going, they become a completely different, you know, handful at that point. So it's anyone's guess. It all comes down to one game. You just got to make sure that you're in the best possible place when that game comes around. So
on the night.
All right, there you have it. It was Wednesday night live softball action. It was top of the table clash. It was the Falcons and the Eagles, and it was the Falcons that reigned supreme tonight, 6-3. They go to top of the table, and we'll continue round 14 this Saturday, 2 p.m. right here on Spacequake Sports. It'll be Walkerville versus the Heels, but tonight, yet again, the Falcons, 6-3.